below. Breathes the flames from the dying suns, and lifts to wake the dying ones. The dying inside this world, there is no way back to forget us. I'm done. The simple and the same as all the innocent.
All right. Hello, hello, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy, Rye Lion. We have Wookie and we have Dark for today's recap. It is week number 8. And oh my God, that was it week number 8. It was absolutely insane. We had the VCL finals. We had also a great number 8 week for PCL as well. We have a lot to go over, but we will start with the finals. I mean, Wookie, I heard the woo. I mean, come on, like, how did it end? Do you want to let's you start it off? How
It
did you
was
feel?
a banger of a series. So starting out with third place, which went to over to excuse me, it went over to Ermines, who faced off against Destroying Expectations. They 3-0'd, and that was an exciting series. Uh, I expected a lot. I expected a lot from them as a team, so I'm glad. Congratulations to them. I'm glad they were able to at least make third place. Them being, you know, probably one of the that was a fun match, and you were there too, Rayleon.
It
That
was
was a
crazy.
just
It was
the teams
close.
are fun. The teams are actually just so fun to cast for, and so there's so much banter between both of those teams. I think
Yeah,
that was like one of the best matches that we could have had for third place
I
finalists.
agree.
So excited to see if they come back next split. I would love both of them too. I'm already in talks with both of them teams. They're like, yeah, like this would be fun. So they got their prizing, and then so afterwards on that Saturday, we had a 5-game finals. That was insane. It was a tricast between me, Raleon, and I believe it was Primus,
Noble.
right? Noble. Excuse me. Uh,
I'm
uh,
sorry, Noble. He didn't mean it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. My brain just
Maybe.
doesn't remember. Like, look, after Saturday, I had a 5-game series the day after, and then I had a 3-game series the day after. So
Oh my
it was
goodness.
a busy weekend for me. But anyways, so yeah, the finals was 3-2 over to it was Chrono versus Miami
I'm
University,
University.
and we had never seen Miami University on stream until that
Mm-mm.
day, and Chrono was able to take 2 games off of Miami University for the first time in the split. And I couldn't have asked for anything better. Both of those teams were also a lot of fun to cast, and they were a lot of fun to watch for the first time, or a few times at least for Chrono. So it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a banger of a series. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. That I mean, don't listen to the audio right now. We'll change that later. Game number 1, I was yelling
Yeah.
so loud because I was like, Chrono is actually gonna win this, and Miami University was undefeated the whole season of VCL. That's another reason why it was crazy. Because not only have we never seen them, but they were also undefeated. They were just like silent, like ninjas, just taking out everyone in the VCL left and right. But we didn't get to witness any of it until the very end. And game 1, just going into that as like the severe underdogs, I would say.
Yep.
And Miami University gets taken down. Game 1, it was like, wow, that's insane. Game 2, definitely a little bit of different fashion, but game 3, they came back and did another one. They were on game
Mm-hmm.
point by game number 3, which is insane. And Miami University had won 2 more games in a row in order to, of course, win the series overall. But
Yeah.
it
That
like
was
every game just
amazing.
got closer and closer as it went further and further, and it was insane. So, congrats to both teams for
Yep.
a hard fought series, but Miami University Redhawks, definitely on top. But who would you say was your MVP? I know we interviewed the whole team, but who was like your MVP of Miami University?
Um, I think honestly, like Evil Lobster was like on the radar for MVP for, and I mean that's a hard one, right? Because they all did
It is.
relatively well. But I think Evil Lobster like really led the charge with the Hecarim pick. Going around the map, making sure that everyone was doing their part, and helping out. I think I think my personal MVP was the Evil Lobster for sure.
All right.
A close second for me could be Qgert. I mean, I know some would say J
Oh,
Nitro because he held
that's
his
who I was gonna
he,
say.
he held up so much in the top side, but I think Qgert did an amazing job in the mid lane. But yeah, that would be my close second. So you say J Nitro is your MVP?
Yeah, I would definitely
Okay.
say, well, no, Evil Lobster, and then followed by
Ah,
J Nitro, and then Qgert. It's not that IBN and Phantom did not do well because they did phenomenal,
yeah,
as well. Like they played into a Jinx 4 games out of 5. Then
right.
they picked Jinx one of the games, and no, they killed it. They killed it in the bot lane as well. So IBN definitely was a huge presence on the map overall, and then of course Phantom with just being
Yeah,
Phantom and doing clutch things for IBN. They were able to really consistently do a lot of damage and just be as supportive as Chrono's bot lane, Esteban and Ninki. So it was just once again banger series. If you haven't seen
yeah,
it, go back and watch it. It was insane.
yeah.
Um,
It was.
but that was pretty much, and that's the end of
That's
VCL.
the end
We'll
of
have
VCL.
another.
Yeah.
We'll have another one upcoming soon, within the next couple of weeks here. So, keep a lookout. We'll be doing like tryouts, we'll be doing everything else, but just stick in the Discord. You'll hear the announcements and then just follow that from there. But yeah, going
All
into
right.
now what? PCL, right? We're gonna go over the standings.
PCL standings for
Oh.
week 8.
Hey.
Um, yeah. What do you guys think? Like,
Well, I mean, let's look at it. Sitting on Wards, still completely undefeated going
yep.
into week number 9 here. Sitting on top with 23 points. We have Relinquished Renegades with 18. They did a really good, surprising comeback, from the beginning of the split to the very ending. I'm really proud of their positioning, actually. Then we have Sniper Gang with 17 points. No, that's Shrimp Gang, is
No,
it
that's
not?
Trip Game.
Shrimp Gang, I'm
Shrimp Game.
sorry. Shrimp Gang with 17 points with the bye last week, so they got to ease right into third place here. We have Counter Target Spell with 16 points. We have Donkey Punch with 14, University of Montreal with 12, EBK with 5, and then Rogue Upsets with 2. Yeah, unfortunately, they've had a pretty rough go around. This split,
Yeah.
Rogue Upsets, lots of roster changes, things like that. They just weren't able to get ahead. EBK also they've came close to a lot of games, as well. But once again, it's just they just weren't able to really hold it together. They have 5 points though, so they've been able to do something at least. University of Montreal. In the beginning, it was really back and forth. They were 2-0ing, they were 0-2ing, and then within these last couple of weeks here, 6, 7, and 8, they've really held it down. Either 1-2ing at least, not getting completely, crushed into the ground or
Mhm.
anything, but still holding on pretty consistently with their wins. Winning 2-1, so not getting those 3 points, unfortunately, with the 2-0s, but still moving ahead. Donkey Punch, that's actually the most surprising to me right now in the standings.
Yeah.
In fifth place is
They
truly Donkey
dropped.
Punch because they were
They were
killing
second
it.
place.
They
Yeah, they
for the
were second place.
longest time.
Fun fact. So the change from week 7 to week 8. Um, so Shrimp Gang is now behind, or now in front, or I mean, yeah, now behind Relinquish Renegades. So Relinquish moved up 1, and then uh, Counter Target Spell moved up 1 against over Donkey Punch. So that's the only changes that happened. Everybody else is kind of still near the bottom. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to this next week, but yeah, everybody's still pretty close.
No, I mean, Dark. How do you like Division 1 overall? Like, I know it's more of a spread than Division 2, but do you think that we're gonna see these top four as these top four right now, or do you think that we're gonna see some kind of upset and we might see Donkey Punch or even UDEM?
Uh, I would say that the top four looks pretty strong right now, but as you said, Donkey Punch was pretty strong. Like the last time we saw them on stream and everything, right? They were cohesive and they were like working as a team. I don't know how and why they lost, but obviously I'm wishing they come back stronger this week, right? And they get their points in. If they don't have a bye week this week, then it's a really good opportunity to get a 3-0, 2-0 to get 3 points, right? So like CTS might drop games, they might not make into playoffs, but it's all like, but the top 3 teams I think are going to be top 2 teams, right? I think sitting on awards too strong for anybody to be right now, so I don't think they go anywhere but the first place. And then Relinquish Renegades, they've improved a lot. They were in the middle of the pack team, and now they've positioned themselves in obviously second position, but obviously it's like pretty close, 18, 17, 16, right? So it could change, but I think they're pretty strong enough to be in the second or third position. Same with Shroom Gang, they've looked consistently good. They haven't really dropped too many games. They've been consistently high on the ladder. The only thing is, like, obviously, as I said, CTS versus DP, who makes it, who doesn't. If I had to put a word on it, I think I would say DP comes back stronger because they had a little roster change, and I don't know, they might do better than the last week, hopefully.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we go over, the scheduling and the matchups for this week, we'll go over that in a little bit here. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting week. There's a lot riding. I mean, this is literally the final week. We are only selecting the top 4 teams of each division that are going to make it into playoffs. So really, Counter Target Spell, Donkey Punch, and I would even say Shrimp Gang here. I wouldn't get like overly comfortable in their positions because it could just change in the blink of an eye.
That's
Definitely.
true. Yeah, and it's all up to how these teams play. I think the scheduling we'll get to a little later, but I guess we can move into Division 2.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Uh, this is also all of these teams are very very close.
I know. This one, this division it gives me anxiety always just looking at them every single week because every team has just look at that 10 10 12 12 15 16 and then across the map with 22. So they've been undefeated the whole time across the map, just like sitting on wards. They have very securely held their position at number 1 the entirety of the split here, and I do not expect that to change, obviously, ending here in week 9. But
So,
Eggplant and oh, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
well, I was just about to say, like, since this division is so close, I have to give a preface, right? Because there's 3 buys,
Right.
for 3 of these teams, right? Um,
Mhm.
so I know this is going kind of into scheduling, but this affects the standings, right? Because this is the last week. So
Yep.
the people who are staying at 6th and 7th are definitely Bandits and Double McFeeders. Unfortunately, they both get buys this week, so they're going to be at 12 points. So
Right.
there's 2 crucial games, right, this week, which is Ventures versus X Rising, and then Across the Map versus Eggplant. So, theoretically, this is kind of theoretically speaking. So White versus Eggplant. No matter what happens to Across the Map, they're in playoffs, right? They're first seed. There's no way
Absolutely.
anybody is going to catch up. Eggplant, the only thing they're fighting for really at this point is seeding, right? They could be overtaken by X Rising, but not by Ventures, right? And just to give a preface, also the slate or a stupid team diff is also getting a bye, so they'll be at 14 points. So they cannot also overtake Eggplant, and they cannot overtake X Rising. So, keeping those crucial pieces of information in mind, I really want to see X Rising versus Ventures. That game is going to be who stays in playoffs, who overtakes stupid. If Ventures can overtake stupid team diff, they get into playoffs, right? And stupid team diff drops from playoffs. If X Rising, the only thing they're fighting for really at this point is same thing. They're fighting for seeding purposes.
Yep.
So this is going to be a banger series between X Rising and Ventures. That is the one crucial game from this series, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I mean, do you think Ventures has it in them to overtake 2-0? Because at 2-1, that would
Whew.
tie them with stupid team diff, and then it's dependent on how everything else wins. So in the possibility that it is 2-1, do they still make it into playoffs?
If Ventures 2-1s,
It's tight.
then it depends, right? Because then they'll get 14 points.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
then we have to figure out the tiebreaker, which is number of games, or number of 2-0s, total game length or average game lengths, win-loss ratio. We have to kind of figure out the numbers after that. So that will
Crunching.
come after we find out who scores better.
Right. So it's definitely they need to at least 2-1 to be reviewed, but if they don't at least 2-1, then yeah, they're not going to make it into playoffs. That
Yeah.
is for certain. So X Rising will do everything in their power to make sure that doesn't happen because obviously they want to probably try to secure second seed because across the map and Eggplant they're going up against each other and with the way that across the map has been playing the whole time. As much as I love Eggplant, I think it's going to go to across the map. So with 16 points, they're locked in, like you said, at either second or in third place if X Rising beats Ventures here. So
Yep. So,
it will be
but
interesting.
I guess we can go into the schedules now for this week, right? And we're gonna start off with Division 1. So round 9. First off, we got EBK versus Counter Target Spell, Donkey Punch versus Relinquished Renegades, Shrimp Gang versus Sitting on Wards, and then 2 buys go to University of Montreal and Rogue Upsets. First off, I want to say that I don't. So, if. Yeah, so there's no way, unfortunately, for Montreal with this bye, EBK, and Rogue Upsets to get in playoffs, right? It's not happening. Um, and they're just so low in the standings. Even with the bye that University of Montreal gets, they're 6th place. So, no matter what Donkey Punch does, if they 0-2 or if they 2-0, they're still behind them. So unfortunately, at this point,
No,
they're
they would tie.
essentially.
They would tie.
Well, they would tie, but they wouldn't get into the playoffs regardless, right? Because
Oh, you're right.
Donkey Punch
You're right.
needs to get above Counter Target Spell, who has 16
Right.
points.
Yep.
So right, so it wouldn't matter too much.
True.
Um,
True.
But yeah, so the rest of these matches, though, what are your thoughts?
Dark, you said Donkey Punch had the ability to come back, but they're versing Relinquished Renegades right now. I mean, they're second place. They've been playing really well these last two. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't-
This might change my opinion. Uh, might though, but it's also like if counter target spell gets O2'd, right, to lose, and then Donkey Kong is able to get like 1 point, maybe not. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Never mind. Okay, so I definitely think Relinquish takes the game. So yeah, maybe Donkey Punch's chances aren't looking super hot. Um, but again, like as I said, they had one roster change, so they might be back on track. They might be able to, push through this. And um, I would say Relinquish is favored, but they're still not the top team. They're nowhere near sitting on wards, right? So they're still beatable. I would say sitting on wards is not beatable by any means. At this point, they're like kind of just crushing everybody they come across. So yeah, I still think Relinquish would win this. But yeah, Donkey Punch might have a chance.
Okay, we could start with just going through the, I guess the, if it's a 2-0 or if it's 2-1 for each of these games, right? Like,
Oh
we
yeah,
could just give
prediction
our
time.
thoughts
Let's
that
go.
way. Prediction time, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first. EBK versus Counter Target Spell. I mean, no contest. Counter Target Spell, doing such a great job. I really want them to 2-0 because I think that they'll be a really good contestant in these playoffs. They're such a fantastic team. Jack has been doing a great job. Jack Spectrum, who is the captain, I think they can go the distance with the playoffs.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
Donkey Punch versus Relinquished Renegades. I'm kind of thinking this is going to be a 2-1. And that's the thing. I don't know who. I would love to give it to Donkey Punch, honestly. I'll give it to Donkey Punch. I think they can show up and, they've been all over the place. They've been second place, they've been fifth place now. Like, they're all over the place, but I think they can actually 2-1 Relinquish Renegades. And
Okay.
Shrimp Gang versus City on Wards. Sheesh. Oh man, I really want to give it to the underdogs in this one because
Yeah.
I need somebody. I need somebody to take a game off of sitting on wards to, because we experienced this during VCL. Gods do bleed.
They bleed.
Even if it's in the last round of the regular season, I still think I'm gonna give the Shrimp Gang 2-1.
Oh man, you getting
Yeah.
spicy with it this way, Wookie. You're
Yeah.
getting spicy. Oh, Dark, how about you,
Okay.
man?
Well, obviously going from top to bottom, I think counter target spell takes the 2-0 in my opinion. EBK hasn't looked really strong, and counter target will take any and all points they get, right? Like if Donkey Punch loses 0-2 anyways, or even 1-2s, counter target still makes it into the playoffs. But I think it's still 2-0 in my opinion in favor of counter target. And then Donkey Punch Relinquish, as I already said, I feel Relinquish is gonna win. I also think it's going to be a 2-1, right? I don't think it's just going to be a 2-0 clap, but in favor of Relinquished, in my opinion. And since Wookie said he's gonna vote for the underdogs, I also have to put my eggs in the shrimp
Let's
basket.
go.
I will give them a 2-1 victory, and I am hoping that they are able to pull this out. It'll be so fun. It's the best content out there. That, underdogs going against the unbeatable kings, and then if they win, they just take a
That's a
like
big
huge
statement.
big statement and a huge mental boost going forward, because they're gonna probably they're making playoffs anyways, right? So
Yeah.
like getting this mental boost right before the playoffs, and the ability to like think that they can just win. So it'll be really good. What do you think, Leon?
All right. Yep. Like I said, starting from the top here, I do also think counter target spell is gonna take it. 2-1 though. I think EBK is gonna take at least one, and we're gonna
Okay.
get a game three. Because EBK, even though they know that they're completely out of it, they're still gonna just want to prove a point, or at least just be like, this is our Custard's last stand kind of situation. They're gonna lose, but they're going swinging. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
2-1 counter target spell. Relinquish Renegades, Donkey Punch. I'm. I'm. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Relinquish 2-1
Ooh,
against
okay.
against Donkey Punch. Just like we said, we've seen them just rise through these last couple of weeks here. They were middle of the pack, and now they've just hard cemented. Week number 9 coming into week 9, 18 points. Like they've done a tremendous job. A lot of growth, great communication from that team overall. And Donkey Punch kind of went the other direction. They started at the top and made their way now down to now possibly a fourth seed. They're fighting hard for a fourth seed contender. And that's just, I think Relinquish is just gonna put the final nail in the coffin week 9 and just be like, you're not passing this line, no. And then you guys made me the bad guy on this one. That's not fair. I have to be realistic. I do. I think sitting
True.
on wards is gonna 2-0 Shrimp Gang. They've done it every single week. I mean, come on, like they've already proven themselves. You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna keep the momentum up, just like Miami University did though. Like through the regular season, they were undefeated, but once they made it to the where it mattered part, they ended up winning overall, but they got 2 games. They were forced to go to a game 5. They did not you heard the interview themselves. They did not figure it out till literally game 5 what they needed to do, or game 4 what they exactly needed to do in order to overcome this. And I don't know. I think sitting on wards is just going to take it overall in the regular season, just like across the map is going to take Division 2 undefeated. I love Eggplant, but I think that they're going to get O2'd. And
Fine,
Speaking of
wait a
which, let's get into the next
Wait a minute.
schedules.
We're throwing balls and eggplant. Let's go.
Whew, all right,
I
Division
love you
2.
guys.
Like I said, it's only two matches, right?
Yep.
And these are two
Only
spicy
2?
matches.
Only 2 matches. Oof.
Yeah, and
Rough.
I think these are the spiciest matches, right?
Absolutely.
Now,
course.
All right. So predict. I guess we can start off with predictions here because we got Ventures versus X Rising and Eggplant versus Cross the Map. I
Okay,
think for
let's go.
Ventures and X Rising, I want this to be a spicy, spicy match. I do expect it to be a spicy, spicy match. I think X Rising is gonna 2-1 Ventures, and
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I think Ventures has been doing really well, but I think that X Rising have been mentally preparing for this moment because this is gonna change, right? If they do not, if they do not, at least get the 2-1 Ventures, they could be facing stupid team diff in the playoffs instead of Ventures, and I'm sure this is just speculation. I don't know from them. I have not talked to X Rising about this, but I would assume that they would rather face Ventures in playoffs than stupid team diff. So
Yeah.
maybe. So
Mhm.
this is just hypothetically speaking.
They lose.
Maybe they actually lose
Yes,
instead
yes.
of winning, so that Ventures overtakes a stupid team diff. That is
Yeah.
just a really wild idea, right? Because if Ventures does if they do, they have to 2-0 to guarantee it, right? Because then if both stupid team diff and Ventures at 14, we have to do some maths, right? We have to do some maths and some research digging on who is higher in the seeding. So if they completely lose, then they're gonna face. If Ventures does completely lose, they're gonna face, or X Rising is gonna face stupid team in the playoffs eventually, right? If they keep going, it's not gonna be right away because obviously the cross divisions starts happening. But if they climb and they climb and climb, they're gonna have to face stupid team diff if they do climb as well. We don't know that yet,
Right.
but it's definitely possible that Red, if they lose, they could face Ventures, right? So, but I still want them to do their best, right? We're not encouraging inting at all or leaving the game or forfeiting. So
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely not.
definitely not. Anyways, that was just like a wild idea though, right? That's like
Yeah,
a
I
really
mean,
outlandish idea.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, mathematically, they could just, FF and then hope the Adventures win it by this default. Um, I've obviously looked at numbers like at all, so, but even then, I am pretty sure Stupid Team would win, not only because I think they've had better games, but also because I think they've had more games than Ventures, right? I know personally Ventures has FF'd a few games, and
okay.
so I feel like if X Rising were to just like FF it and not even like just to like pull Slate down, I don't think it's gonna work. I think Ventures is going to lose out in that situation. The only way X Rising is going to make sure that Ventures gets in is by losing 2-0 to them, which I don't think they would want to do that, even if it's better
Yeah.
for them to have Ventures inside playoff, even though it's like split, like cross map, cross divisions, right? Um, because whoever plays, I'm pretty sure whoever comes in fourth, whether it's Stupid Team Diff or whether it's Ventures, it's going to be one hard matchup going up against sitting on wards.
That's true.
So, so
Yeah,
losing
they
would
wouldn't
not,
want that.
yeah.
Right.
So losing wouldn't like exercising wouldn't want like even if they did lose, like it doesn't matter because I believe firmly that sitting on wards would just win whoever goes in.
That's
So
fair.
um yeah, so as far as the predictions go, I think X Rising has been improving slowly and steadily. They were not the top tier team. Obviously, this division in itself has like 7 teams now. It started off with 9 or 10 teams, right? Um, so now it only has 7 teams, which sucks. Obviously, not only does it suck for Division Two because they don't get to play a lot more games, hence get practice and get the experience, Um, but it also sucks because they're like you already know which teams are going in, right? It's only 3 teams
Yeah.
are getting eliminated, out of like 7. So, I think X Rising has improved a lot. Um, Granted with the less number of games, still feel they'll just 2-0 Ventures.
Okay.
Coming to Eggplant versus across
Oh,
the
I never
map.
got to do my eggplant versus
Oh
across the
yeah,
map
go for it,
prediction.
go for it.
I think that as much as I love Eggplant, I at least expect with the preparation that Eggplant can possibly do, I do think they're at least going to take one game off of across the map at least. And that would be big for them, right? That would be really a really good ego booster for them, right? But I do think across the map they've been doing really really well, against all teams. If they do, I'll say this: if Eggplant does 2-0 or 2-1 across the map, I owe them something. I owe them something because that would be the day.
True, true.
But yeah, go ahead with your prediction.
Yeah, I mean, for my prediction, it's like really crucial to come in second because you get to play versus third, cross divisions, and if I am like thinking correctly, the third, in my opinion, on the other side would be Shrimp. As for like right now,
Right.
it could change, but yeah. So if they're able to get there, it's better, right? Because they're going against quote unquote a lower standing team, right? So it's really important for Eggplant to get like to not lose because if they lose, they're coming in third because as I said, if exercising two owes them, they go up, they go second place, right? And
Okay.
then all of a sudden Eggplant's third now because they lost to the number one team, which I think is going to happen. So I have to give it to across the map, um, just based on how division has shaped out so far because nobody has been able to defeat them and they've been pretty dominant. The last stream we saw them, they've been like, the games were really like I know it was like a good series, but to me it felt a little across the map favored since the beginning of the game. Like they were winning in like all sides, all lanes, and the jungler is cracked and everything's like coming together pretty nicely. I remember Rallion saying that they work as a really good unit already, right? So them going against Eggplant that's second on the team, it's going to be a banger series for sure. But definitely, I think across the map takes it 2-0, which in turn, if X Rising is able to pull off 2-0, will give that the edge to go over Eggplant. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're definitely not wrong, and maybe I'm not giving enough credit to Eggplant. I think they maybe can take one game because I know Laser Sniped. I mean, we've played with him. Wookie, you've even coached him. So, I mean, he has good strats. He has good everything. So I know that they're gonna do well drafting phase. Mustard Cat, one of the best clutch supports. In the series here. Obviously, they're gonna make playoffs. So,
Hold on. You said I coached Laser Style, but you didn't even listen to me. All right, let's get the one thing straight.
No,
you,
I said you were a coach for
I know, I
Laser
know, I know.
Snipe.
Yeah, you
So
didn't.
like,
You never listened to me. Of course not. That's how they do
I
so
think
well. I guess they
I
just don't
think it
listen
was. I
to.
think he got a lot of it though, and
I know.
whether he
I'm
was
just messing
actively
with
listening,
you.
I know.
also that Mustard is one of the best support. I can't. I can't take Rallion seriously anymore. It's over now.
It's true. Mustard Cat's clutch. Mustard Cat's great support. Viator as well. A really good ADC. They've proven themselves to at least be second place. Compared to the two across the map, and now they have the ability to go up against them head to head and prove themselves. So it would be fantastic if they got an upset. That would be ultra lit if they 2-0'd. I will definitely have to move my microphone back a little bit if that happens, because that would be insane. But I think they could at least take one game from across the map. They're gonna get 2-1, but I still think they could take it. And for Ventures versus X Rising, I'm gonna go with X Rising 2-0s, Ventures, and this one here. Just like you guys said, we haven't seen the consistency from Ventures overall. We've seen a lot of forfeits as well. So I don't know how well the synergy is there comparative to X Rising, who has been a really solid team throughout. Yeah, they're not the highest on the standings, but they're also not trying to tread water and hold their breath or hold their head above, barely trying to get the fourth. So, I think that they're gonna just stamp this one out going into week number 9, secure their spot because they're gonna 2-0. That would actually put them in the second place, so they're gonna get the second seed, into the playoffs here, which is gonna change this how the divisions match up across comparative to how Division 1 goes. But yeah, I'm going with X Rising overall, and then of
Okay.
course everyone else is bye week. So.
All right. Well, you guys got your predictions set. Let's go into like what's already scheduled. I believe there's a couple of games already scheduled for Thursday. Let me look
Yes.
here.
Yes, we actually have 3
Hardcore
games.
posted. Well, Relinquish Renegades versus Donkey Punch, 8
Yep.
p.m. Thursday, March 31st. The other two currently are
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, they're rescheduled days. We could possibly do those too, but we'll have to see about those. But for Thursday's match, Relinquish Renegades versus Donkey Punch, I think that would be a good series to kind of stream.
It's gonna be really good, absolutely. I mean, that's gonna be locking in
Yeah.
Division 1. You know, they have a lot to fight for, Donkey Punch does, so they're on the ropes. So we're definitely gonna be streaming that one.
Okay, and then no. So the games that are scheduled for Friday have not been posted yet, but I want to
Correct.
show everybody, if you haven't seen what Desi had posted on
Oh.
on the scheduling channel. He said, "Stupid Team Div versus Team Gap executives, 8 p.m. Eastern, Friday, April 1st."
Let's go.
Hell yeah, come
How excited? How excited
bet.
would you guys be if we did that and just had like someone else sub in for our 5th member?
I would not
That
be
would
against
be
that at all.
an exciting matchup. I can finally face off with Desi, and we can settle the Mid Kingdom difference. And maybe I have to change my actual name to Mid King the Second or something
we're
like
not-
that.
We're not gonna let that Mark play mid. We're just gonna lose. It's
Bruh.
okay. Bruh.
Condition will
True,
be
actually-
if we win, they don't get
No.
a bye week.
No, you know what? You know what'll happen? They'll ban his Katarina. Then he's useless. He's useless in mid lane. So
Oh
like,
my
what then?
God.
Right?
True.
Am
A
I
lot of
not
flame
wrong?
going
A lot of flame
Oh.
going on. But this would be an exciting thing to do. Keep in mind, like, we are looking for, if those games are not scheduled, if the games are not scheduled on Friday, and we
we're
don't have
playing.
anything, we're more than happy to stream other, scrims that team set up or anything, between you guys in Gap. If you guys are, doing a 3-block, we'll be happy to stream whatever. We do not care. We are
Absolutely.
fiends here when it comes to wanting to stream stuff, because it's fun. I mean, that's why we set up these days, and we have the casters ready for these days. It's because we wanna showcase you guys, and I think everybody here in Gap is very special, including ourselves. So that's a possibility. I would be totally down for that.
Absolutely. I would 100% be down for that.
We'll send our captain Wookie Monster here to like talk to to talk to the stupid team's captain Desi King so that we can set up this game and stream it. We'll see.
Yeah. But that also, make sure that the Ventures and X Rising, make sure you guys stream or set up your scheduling for that. And oh gosh, I already Eggplant and Cross the Map, please set up your scheduling so that we know that there's no Friday game going to happen. Or if there is a Friday game, we're gonna stream that instead. So
Yeah,
keep
but
that
if
in mind.
if they both have Friday, who would you want to stream out of both of these?
Ooh,
Across the Map and Eggplant or Ventures vs X Rising?
Ventures
gonna go with
and X
Ventures.
Rising.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Good.
oh,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I was gonna say. That one's just gonna
Yeah.
be no offense. Once again, you guys are top 2. Okay, so you guys are secure. But this one is for
This
the glory
matters.
right here.
It matters.
This match matters so much for like not only these 2 teams, but matters for the 3rd team, which is Stupid Team the Freight. So it's a big match to show.
Too big. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
if we're gonna be between these 2, it's gonna be these 2.
Wow, just
True.
because you guys already thought the Eggplant lost, that's crazy.
What? No, it's because they're already so close in the standings, and this one matters so much more.
It's like
Yeah. I mean, it really does, right? I mean,
of course.
yeah. Best of luck to both, but there's gonna be one that comes out on top, and we're taking the top 4, so this really matters for all of these bottom of the top 4 teams. So,
Absolutely. And Sunday we do have Shrimp Gang also as well versus Sitting on Wards, and
Yeah.
I will be available for that. So I'm definitely down to stream that one. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I think we're gonna cement that one in and say that one is definitely being streamed this Sunday. So tune in for that. Right, we at least have 2 games this week for sure. Friday we'll let you guys know. Saturday we'll also see because it's scheduled, but we don't know yet. So we'll see.
Yep. All right.
Definitely.
Well,
And
I think
don't
that's
forget
about
next week. I mean next week. I mean not next to next. The playoff starts, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
definitely look forward to those.
Yep,
Yep.
and it is top 8. Cross division matches. The first. So it's how it works is it's going to be Division 1 first place versus Division 2 fourth place, and
Yep.
then it's going to be flip flopped. So Division 2 first place versus Division 1 fourth place, and then it's going to be Division 1 second place versus Division 2 third place, and vice versa. Division 2 second place versus Division 1 third place. So there's going to be exciting matches, and it's going to start the quarterfinals, and we get to the semifinals, and then we get to the finals. So it's going to be we're going through it. We're going through this entire league. I think the finals are already scheduled in place. Keep in mind it's going to be on these days, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be at certain times. It should be earlier in the day. Usually we want these playoff games to start a little bit earlier, especially for the best of 5s. But the best of 3s for the quarterfinals are going to be Thursday, April 7th, and Friday, April 8th. And the captains can schedule those times. And then semifinals is going to be best of 5s. Day 1 is Wednesday, April 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And is that right? Did I not change that? Yeah, I think that's right. Right. And then Thursday, April 14th, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern is gonna be day 2. And those are just because we're gonna stream the finals on that weekend. So we're gonna giving teams at least a break in between. But this is all gonna happen in 1 week. Semifinals and finals are happening in 1 week. So that means that Friday, April 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be third place finalists, which are it's going to be between the losers of the semifinals. And then Saturday, April 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be the winners of the semifinals, obviously. So those are going to be some banger best of 5s. Hopefully as good as the VCL was. I'm very hoping so. But whoever comes out on top, whew, you've lasted 9+ weeks of regular season shenanigans. You've made it all the way, and we could not be more proud of all of our teams and every team that has signed up for this event. So thank everybody. But yeah, this is we're coming to an end here, guys.
Yeah, and it's been a really great series, and thank you to all the people that tune in every single week for these games as well. Not just to the players, but to the viewers as well. So huge shout out to you guys, and of course to our wonderful cast and production crew. Mainly, Wookie here have been holding it down with all the very nice production. I love you. You're a god, my friend. That's why he's voted sexiest man. For the 10 years in a row. I don't make the rules. I just work here.
There's nobody else. There's no contest.
Yeah, it just there is none. There is none other.
It
But
is not.
Stop it.
that I believe is going to be it though for the recap. I mean, any shout outs, anything else we want to do before we close it out here?
We will have the streamed hot tubs summer hot tub stream. We will announce when that date is. We just haven't figured out a time yet. We're probably gonna announce it within a week or 2. Yeah, we'll announce it soon. Also,
So happy. His face is just glowing now.
like I had kind of stated in the general gap chat, we will have another high elo league and lower elo league. The dates are to be announced soonish. Also within a couple of weeks. We still have to figure out some kinks, changes in the rule books. To make it better for you guys. We've taken as much suggestions as you guys have given us. We have tried to add on things that might be beneficial for everybody to experience, because not everything is going to be perfect, and this is our first officially our first season as
management.
executives. So,
Yep.
and I want to, I don't know if I should do this now, but no, I'll save it for later. You guys we'll keep you guys guessing for what that
Oh.
is. But
I just wanted to say,
it's
on the
yeah,
topic of suggestions, like there's still a suggestion channel on the server. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, do not hesitate to like reach out to us or like open a ticket and any questions or whatever. And if you have suggestions, like try using them, try giving us suggestions so we can improve the league for the better. As Wookie said, we're like working out kinks and we're trying to make the league even better, right? Obviously, as you said, like the first league for us, as new execs, we're trying our best and we're like hoping to make it even better next, like. And as somebody said, at Gap, every day is a banger, and I hope it just continues to be a banger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, I also want to do trial casters as well. So if you guys are ever interested in trial or in casting, whether that's play by play like myself or color commentating, which is normally what Wookie or Dark do, if you have a lot of knowledge and you just want to spread that amongst the community with your fellow teammates, this is your opportunity to do so. So please reach out to me directly. We'll set something up, and I definitely would like to extend that out to you all. So we're 100% looking. Just once again, reach out to me or Wookie or any of the execs. Or once again, put in a ticket. Love to have you. We want to expand our team. So.
I also have a few more announcements too because we're getting to the end of the season here, and we want everybody to have a space to do something, right? So we are going to be holding more events during the off season. Not too many, right? Because I know that it could get very busy during the off time. We only have about a month, and like I said, Mayish is where we want to kind of start our next season. So we have April to work with, right? So we're going to have, and this has been voiced many times, we might have a single day or maybe even a mini league for TFT, or something like an ARAM tournament, a 5v5 ARAM tournament day. There's a lot of ideas out there.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna compile all of that and kind of keep you guys updated. Mustard Cat, who is our event coordinator, we'll have to schedule with her and make sure that we get those done, because we definitely want to give you guys stuff to do during the off time. And there's plenty of options, and there's a lot of interest in TFT for some. I never thought it would be as much of an interest as it is, but there's a way to do a sort of a mini TFT tournament type of thing, as well as like your general game night, party game nights, and even movie nights or something like that. Because we're all for that. We're about having fun here at Team Gap. And what was the other announcement that I was gonna make? I had no idea. Have no idea now.
Super secret.
No, not that one.
No, I'm just saying, if you don't remember, it's super secret. We can just say that, and then the announcements will come through like as we go forward, right? Like, we have some bangers in the back,
Oh yeah.
and we're waiting to drop them, right? So keep an eye out for them.
Now I remember.
There you go.
So, we're definitely. I definitely want to preface this because this might influence how you guys enter the next split. We are going to do a similar sort of situation with the next split. We don't have the exact details right now, but like I said, you guys are going to be able to either create new teams or form teams with people and stuff like that. So it's going to be similar. I've gotten a lot of questions about this, how the next split is going to work. We are making, like I said, changes to the rule book, but it is going to be a little bit of a different structure, and we're trying our best to make sure that it doesn't affect everyone too much. So we're keeping that in mind. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Last announcement. There is March highlight reel submission forms available in each of the document channels. So if you have any, even from VCL, if you have any super cool highlights that you have, I will be making that video rather shortly, as we're coming up on the end of March. So I think that's it for me.
All right. Or yeah, if you guys have any submissions of your own that you've captured throughout the entirety of the split, send it in to us. We'll add it to the thing. We can use all the footage we can get. You know,
Yeah.
if not, then we'll just have to constantly put highlights of Wookie and I's hot tub stream in there. So it's completely up to you all. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and speaking of which, like for at least casting, we're gonna have some. You know, we're not gonna have. How do I say this? If you're looking to become a moderator too, we are kind of looking for moderators right now, and we are taking suggestions for people who would like to be moderators. So if you know anyone, just like casting, I mean, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's you know, relatively the same thing. Just talk to any of the execs if you're interested. So that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you. And it is your boy Ryline. You got Wookie Monster and you got Dark. This has been the Team Gap recap for week number 8. As we enter the final week, please stay tuned with us. We have some banger games this week, and we will see you then. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Good night.
Right.